Steward Zhua, please refrain from corrupting my disciple. Please come in. So, why did the high priest call me over? As I suspected, Steward Zhua is a man among men. Stuff it. If I'd been any more normal, I'd be dead. Now why did you invite me? If you're all out of shticks to convince me, then I'll take my leave. And don't try that fate stuff with me. It won't work, nor can I understand it. Do us both a favor and save it. You should be dead. This is my greatest secret, so how did the old coot figure it out in a glance? Does that mean? Are the rumors true? Yun Clan's clan heads have eyes that can pierce one's fate. Not even sacred domain's emperors can train in such a mystical art. More importantly, is this world dominated by fate? How can such an unimaginable clan exist in the mortal domain? Just. Who are you? Where does the Yun clan come from? He's a branch of the Shang clan. He has to be. Steward Zhua, what are you saying? The Yun clan has always lived in seclusion, being weak at fighting. At the founding of Tianyu, we were asked to come out of obscurity and have been treated as its parish ever since. Can a clan of such incredible skill have such bland origins? Or have they lived for so long that they forgot about their own history? High Priest, please don't mind my previous outburst. So, what were we talking about? Ah, it's been ages since I had such a refreshing chat with someone, ha ha ha. Steward Zhua, your reputation precedes you. Flexible, knowing no shame, and quite like myself back in the day. High Priest, are you patronizing me, or mocking yourself? We've all been young once. But now, at my age, this seat is different from how I saw it then. That's why I wish to have a talk with Steward Zhua, giving our all for a better tomorrow. People's fates are ingrained in the world. Although choices are innumerable, anything hardly throws the world out of balance. My belief was firm in this truth, and with my ancestors' eyes, I was able to point out a safer path for the people. But 8 years ago, something happened that collapsed my faith. High Priest, restrain your grief, who hasn't been disappointed in the world? Na. You think I fell in despair because everything I knew had been turned upside down. Perhaps, but I was more surprised than anything. I used to think every life is bound to the world's laws. The more I saw, the duller the world became. That is why the Yun clan has always lived in tranquility and never engaged in power play. But that moment opened my eyes. That not everything was set in stone. Heaven and earth are keeping us prisoners while still presenting us with a way out. All that is left is for us to find it. What the hell had the old coot been smoking? Steward Zhua doesn't look too keen to delve into the mysteries of fate. Then I shall speak plainly. 8 years ago, you killed Yugiki in Blue Expanse City. Your act defied fate. His destiny was fraught with dangers, but it was not meant to be cut so short. 8 years ago was my first turning point in Tianyu, the one that made me famous. As for the fate-defying, how does killing have anything to do with my fate? Each man's fate is linked with the world, just like the starry sky. And every one of them touched one another through unseen rules and intricate interactions. Since everyone has their own will, they all take different walks in life. But the path to death never even existed for Yugiki at that point in time. It only appeared 20 years later, in a time of great national unrest. The news of his death shocked me to the core. I turned to the sky at once and found a dead person still alive. Along with him, the strings of fate were now entangled. And he had escaped the ties that bind. Every single action of his changed the fates of everyone he met. The strong become weak, and the weak turn strong. Like a demon archon incarnate, he literally flips the world upside down. Well, High Priest, You don't mean me when you mention Demon Archon, right? What do you think? Ha ha ha, you know better than anyone. Just how many people's fate has taken a sudden and inconceivable turn on your path. Luo clan, a washed-up third-rate clan, is experiencing a complete rebirth, as the head of the 8 noble houses. If not because of you killing Yugiki, Blue Expanse City's Shui clan would have never served under Sword Marquis's abode. Their third missed life would have run its sordid course. Drifting Flowers Edifices was destined to be Regent Estate's first victim in their house unification plan, greatly bolstering their power, all leading up to a huge civil war. All it took was one particular man, you, and Drifting Flowers Edifices made a comeback from the brink of death. Regent Estate's plans were thwarted, and on it goes. All of this sounds like fate's plan to me. Perhaps, but my eyes still fail to see any trace of fate around you. As if you are walking between two worlds, having long since shed the shackles of destiny. This old coot is right about one thing. I truly was walking between worlds, that of the living and the dead. An ethereal stage losing his body can live on by possessing others with his soul. But that is no true rebirth, since he didn't die to begin with. But I am different. Demonic Emperor Zhua Yifan has his soul pulverized, annihilated. Luo clan's servant, Zhua Fan, of meager cultivation, was also struck down. Yet through the mysteries of the 9 Serenities' secret records, life was born anew from these 2 strangers housing one body. A life walking the thin line between the living and the dead, yet above the laws of this world. Separated, we were dead, but together we were at least half alive. Steward Zhua, I don't know how you did it, but please believe me. Your very existence changes everyone's fate as they know it. I intended to keep this matter hidden, but in exchange for your trust, I will tell you a secret. The one you killed, Huangpu Qingtian, had all the qualities and fate to be a ruler. If not for you, he had a high chance of becoming the new emperor. I thought he was just a narcissist, but now even the high priest vouched for him. I had seen into Huangpu Qingtian's fate, and a single glance told me that he had the disposition of an earth dragon, a prime candidate to be a king on this earth. But fate is a forked path. Where there is death, there will always be life, and where there was life, death wasn't far behind either. At the time, I spoke of 3 tribulations he had to pass to achieve his destiny. First was heaven. With the king's advent, the dragon's soul shall return. Huangpu Qingtian earned its recognition in his childhood for a reason. This tribulation, he passed. Huangpu Qingtian, a pipsqueak, could subdue and train the earth dragon claw. It's gotta be fate. There's no other explanation. The second tribulation was of father and son. Estate Lord Huangpu Tianyuan is a decisive and stalwart person. If Huangpu Qingtian wanted to do anything, he had to seize power, to steal his father's seat. This ultimately broke the ties of father and son beyond repair. All he had to do was to be savage himself, throw away his clan, and steal his position. This would have brought him one step closer to being an emperor. Humph, the punk was savage all right, just look at his rotten attitude. The final tribulation, the most crucial one, was sin. Huangpu Qingtian is a tyrant in character and actions. With everyone considered dirt, his sins weigh heavy on his shoulders. If he would have gone soul-searching, reassessing the worth of a person, he would have been a prime candidate to become the next emperor. 20 years later, Regent Estate would be at his beck and call. At the peak of his power, the clash with the imperial family would be nothing more than a skirmish to him. And 4 decades later, he'd become the ruler of Tianyu and establish his own dynasty. With that guy's obnoxious attitude, the thought of self-reflection would have never crossed his mind. There's no way he would have passed the 3rd tribulation. But now the Regent Estate can no longer vie for power and has nothing to do with me anymore. People always change. Just like Steward Zhua, as far as I know, you have become much calmer in recent years. If Huangpu Qingtian had lived, he may very well have been able to overcome this tribulation. A pity he stumbled upon you, a man outside fate, and his future was cut short. High Priest, for you to tell me so much, there has to be a reason. Why? For the good of the people. I have deep knowledge of fate and its inviolable nature. Even if forced to change, it will only make a detour. Slowly but surely returning back on track. Hence, I am filled with pain seeing the people suffer yet powerless to help them. Now that I see that Steward Jua has the power to change all that. At this moment, the forces of various houses are all over the place, and the war is about to break out. It is also the time when Tianyu is in grave danger. I dearly wish Steward Jua will keep the fighting to a minimum, for the sake of the people. All right. High Priest, I took you for an intelligent man, but now I see that you're quite senile. 1 second you call me the Demon Archon incarnate, and the next moment you ask the same Demon Archon to save the world. You were a Demon Archon. Still am. Then later. Still will. You have escaped fate, so why insist on walking the old path? I do not know who you are, but looking at your past exploits that got you here, they're not at all the actions of an ignorant child, but those of an expert reborn. Going from there, a reborn expert must have faced true death once. But have you ever taken a moment to consider that this rebirth and having escaped fate are all about rediscovering yourself? Shocked rediscovery. That's right. In less than 10 years, unlike my past life which was focused solely on cultivating in the sacred domain, I've met countless people and experienced all kinds of feelings I never knew existed, giving me a whole new look on life. These are events I've never experienced before. This rebirth is really a chance for me to start over. Maybe this life is heaven's way of elevating my state of mind through countless events for the next time I become a demon emperor. Perhaps my death that year may very well be a blessing in disguise. What's in it for me? Steward Jua, changing fate benefits the nation. It is the highest form of good you can do. From now on, my clan will follow Steward Jua to the ends of the earth. Going against heaven's plan is the way to the future. We'll do anything to prevent Steward Jua from burning the world and ruining the lives of innocents. 3 of the 4 pillars actually defected to me. It is the best kind of help. Steward Jua, my clan has always been neutral, but for the sake of people, I will make an exception just this once. Last night, I peered into the sky and found the Luo clan to be on a constant rise. The only ones strong enough to crush its advance are 4 powers. Which 4? Regent Estate, the Earth Dragon. Imperial Family, the Crouching Dragon. The Empire's Prime Minister, Zhuge Changfeng, the Hidden Dragon, and the 4th. Sigh. My greatest worry and greatest menace upon the people. Chuanrong Empire, the Vile Dragon. The same Chuanrong Empire that the Imperial capital's factions have beaten down thousands of miles away from here. What do they have to do with us? Don't tell me they'll take this chance to attack. That still doesn't involve the Luo clan. That will be right up Dugu Zhantian's alley. Sigh, I am unclear. After all, I am not part of the court meetings and do not understand politics shrouded in cloak and dagger. I only read the night sky, and these 4 are the ones most likely to level the Luo clan. Could it be that someone within our empire is spying for the Chuanrong Empire? How else do you explain another country's interference in times of Tianyu's civil war? Fortunately, I met Yun Xuanji today and got his advice. Otherwise, I would never have thought that the other side still has this trump card. Thank you, Elder Yu, for your wisdom. I will make arrangements at once. I am not about to let outsiders encroach on our lands and put our people in peril. Ha ha ha. For Steward Jua to realize this truth, I am more than gratified. But before you go, I have a gift for you. Xiao Dongzi, go bring Shuanger. What the hell is this old man doing? Grandfather, you called. Ninger. Shuanger, come here. No, it's not. It's just that both of them have that innocent vibe. like the highest snow on the tallest peak, unmarred by decadence and evil plaguing this world. She is my granddaughter, Yun Shuang. Greetings, I am Luo clan's steward, Zhua Fan. Greetings. Steward Zhua, from today onwards, Shuanger will be your servant, tending to all your needs. Grandfather. High Priest, your help is more than enough. Why must you make such a repulsive proposal? Do you take me for a lek? One who sits on men and gets fresh with women. To the point that I'd go for my allies' people. Ha ha ha. This is precisely why. Why else do you think I'd throw my dear granddaughter into the jaws of a tiger? To be perfectly honest, she is like me and has the same eyes I do. She is to become Yun clan's 8th clan head, Holy Maiden Yun Shuang. I leave her with you to guide her when needed and to stop you from bringing calamity to the people. In the esoteric debate, you lost all reasoning, forcing the hidden and opportunistic Luo clan to come out in the open far earlier than necessary. Now that the war is about to happen, for the Luo clan and for the nation, it was a grave lapse in judgment. Being such a hothead when facing Huangpu Qingtian was such a dumb idea. It was not what a wise man would do. But some things were meant to be done even if they were clearly unreasonable. I would do it all over again even if I had to choose again. I'd never rest easy until he died. Ah. He has no fate. Is he the one grandfather always talks about, the anomaly who broke the ties that bind? It's him, the Luo clan's steward, Zhua Fan. Shuanger, don't blame me. I don't have any choice. It's the only way to save the people, through him, who changes fates. He is a man of cruel methods, not one bit kind. Even capable of tormenting innocents. I can only have you stay by his side, to guide him on the righteous path and save the people. Cough, High Priest, with all due respect, are you by any chance cursing me? Is that wise? Ha ha ha. Steward Zhua always sees himself as a cruel man. So how could those words count? Just take them as praise. High Priest, now I know why you said my shameless character made you nostalgic. You haven't changed a bit, still hanging on strong. You're too kind, really. Steward Zhua just got an unwanted contriver so angry he almost spat blood. I am far from your match. As they say, every generation outmatches the last. Kids these days get stronger every day. Steward Zhua, Shuanger is in your care. She will be of help to you. Please don't abandon her, she isn't a burden. I can't always be there to guide you, but she can. She is useful. Private words. Humph, this suicidal old coot. Neutral for a century and now he decides to make an exception. What matters is not what becomes of my name, but the good of the people. Ha ha ha. Shuanger, hope you don't mind me calling you that. Miss Shuanger, there's no need to be scared. Your grandfather placed you in my care to help me complete my master plan. In fact, we're on the same side. Once this is all over, you are free to go home. With how we little know about each other from the past few moments, you can still be sure of my character. Just stick with yours truly, and you'll be going places. I will make a celebrity out of you. I will take very good care of you. Steward Zhua, grandfather warned me many times, that you are a bad man and I am to lead you down the path of righteousness, but you don't look so wicked to me. Well, well. That's why I said you don't know me. No, it's poisonous smoke. Shuanger, hold your breath. Steward Zhua. He. It's useless. My poison can pierce even a radiant stage expert's defenses. It's a sedative. Ha ha ha. And here I thought the best steward beneath heavens was something to fear. One move from me, and he fell all the same. Huang Mei. Yellow eyebrows ancestor Huang Mei, your poison is invincible. Not even Pale King Hall can match you. Humph, Pale King Hall is nothing compared to me. Thinking back to when Pale King Hall invited me to be their venerable, we compared poisons, but wasn't it them who fell short each time? All they have for themselves is an empty name. The second prince only wants Fan. What do we do with her? Ancestor, I heard Fan always carries himself with pride and indifference and has few people he even cares about. For this girl to be walking next to him, it can only mean that she is one such person. Let's take her as well, it might be for His Highness's benefit. Oh God, this is huge. I have to tell the princess. Youngning, come out. I'm dying here. What the hell is wrong with this place? Why is it so big? For no one but the emperor to move in a palanquin is so unreasonable. That rule is clearly aimed at my poor self. Then what are you doing dashing around the imperial palace? Why don't you stick to your manner? He. Do you think I want to run to this damn place? Regardless of its importance, Imperial Father always sends me on errands. While the elder brother handles files in the Imperial Palace and the second brother tends to the guards, patrolling with them each day. Only I, the accursed, big-boned, unloved by my father, get sent outside whenever, wherever. I bet the farther he sends me the better he feels, wishing I won't get back at all. Sigh, third brother, you must have lived a long and hard life. Stop patronizing me, sister. I came here on official business. It is father's punishment for you for sneaking out. What, he knows all about it. By order of the emperor, Yongning has sneaked out of the palace and lost all semblance of propriety. You are hereby confined for 1 year, subjected to change depending upon your behavior. Ah, a year. Princess, something terrible has happened. What could be worse than being grounded for a year? And didn't I tell you to invite Schwanger to read me? Where is she? Didn't get the chance. Miss Schwanger and Fan were kidnapped by an old man. Who did it? I heard them mentioning the second prince. What? Second brother has really done it now. A prince engaging in kidnapping. And with the high priest's holy maiden and a house steward no less. Lu Zhu, you come with me. I am going to give him an earful, humph. Third brother, where are you going? Shouldn't we tell father? It's too late for that. What's too late? Since the second brother had them kidnapped, they should be safe for the time being. I'm not worried for them but for second brother. You can mess with the king of hell, but God help you if you step on Steward Zhu's toes. That line said back in the esoteric debate wasn't just for show. The old second must have lost his mind to move against that savage. Let's go too. Whenever the yellow wind blows nothing can catch him. Ancestor Huang Mei lives up to his reputation. To have even Fan, the pain in the rear of all the houses, tied up. I am in awe, ha ha ha. Thank you, your highness. I am not like those nobodies, undeserving of their name. I had him captured even before I got to show what I was made of. I feel ashamed sometimes, undeserving of the second prince's praise. Ha ha ha. I'm sure that it is not Fan who is weak, but Ancestor's skills are out of this world to have achieved such swift success. Ancestor, you will have the 10 8th grade pills, rest assured. Is this all the best steward beneath heavens amounts to? This is what you get for ignoring my invite. Huh. Ancestor, this is. What? Holy Maiden Yun Shuang. Huh. Can this girl not be touched? No, you are perfect, ancestor. In fact, I'll add 2 more pills as thanks. Ha ha ha. Thank you, Your Highness, for the reward. Ancestor, could you wake her up? I have some questions. Easy. This is my prized narcotic, 1,000 years dream. Their only chance at waking up is if I help them, he he he. Not even a radiant stage expert can fight it. Get up. Ah, second prince, you. Miss, there's no need to fear. You are a valued guest of my manor. You're safe here. Steward Joie, wake up. Wake up. Little girl, don't waste your energy. Only my antidote can wake him. Miss Schwanger, I've heard of you being a holy maiden. But with all of Parish's rules and other obstacles, I've never had the pleasure of paying you a visit. Imagine my surprise when you came to me instead. You honor and humble me with your presence. Humph, what valuable guest, you kidnapped us. True, but it's fine. All that matters is that you are in my home and that makes you a guest. And let me tell you, I do know how to treat my guests. Though, there is just one small detail that has been vexing me for a long time, something that I hope you can clarify for me. What is it? I've heard that Miss is the same as the High Priest, with eyes that can read the heavens. Able to look into a person's fate. Would it be possible to glimpse upon mine? Will I become an emperor? Not in your life. By Yun Clan's ancestral teachings, we have always been neutral. We look after the people, not the rulers. Peeking into the empire's fate is taboo and against the Yun Clan's principles. I cannot help you. I see, ancestral teachings, is it? Why then I heard that 20 years ago, the High Priest had read Huangpu Qingtian's fate. How is that the same? Huangpu Qingtian was a child then. His fate was full of twists and turns. He had yet to mature into someone fit to rule. You, on the other hand, are fully grown and have fewer turning points. If you do have a dragon's disposition, it will come to pass more often than not. And reading it will mean revealing heaven's plan, inviting heaven's wrath, and bringing hell upon the masses. In other words, if she says that I am the future emperor, I will be able to take the throne. What are you waiting for then? Bask your eyes on my regal self. Tell me if I have what it takes to reach the top. I told you already. I mustn't. I heard you two are close. Tell me, or I'll kill him. Easy, Your Highness. He is after all the one His Majesty bestowed the best steward beneath heaven's title. We will also have to answer if anything happens to him. Codswallop. Once I take the throne, best steward beneath heavens isn't worth shit. Look, or I will kill him. Didn't the Yun clan always come to people's aid? Are you going to let this man suffer? Zhua Fan is a miracle man who can change fate. Okay, I promise you. He has to survive. Then, holy maiden, if you please. What is it, holy maiden, am I? How fortunate, you are not fit to rule. I didn't go against my ancestors. Oh, such a blessing. Holy maiden, aren't you mistaken? Do it again. Grandfather has taught me since I was a child. There's no mistake. You are unfit for the throne. Don't waste your breath. But I will tell you this, my kindness to you. The path you tread is fraught with danger, towards eternal doom. Turn back and you may live a life of peace. Otherwise my ass. You damn liar. How dare you deceive me? I'll kill you. Ha ha ha. You bastard. Even if you were fit to rule, the instant you grabbed me, your fate was doomed. Joie. 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 Joie fan. Simply because of a declined invite you decided to kidnap me. I gotta hand it to you, that takes guts. Steward Joie, are you alright? Ha ha ha. Never been better. In this world, only I can push others around. The others won't ever get the chance. Stick with me and no one will touch you. How is it possible? Only I can wake you from my 1,000 years dream. If there's one thing I don't care about, that's poison. Be it narcotic or necrotic, they got nothing on me. I am where I am because neither Regent Estate nor the likes of those 7 houses, Pale King Hall included, could cope with me. So what could a rookie like you do? I only faked being asleep, curious as to who had the nerve to pull something like this. Lo and behold, it was this dumbass. Something's still bugging me though. How in God's name did the wise and shrewd Majesty end up with this gung-ho fool of a son? Even Miss Schwanger's reading proves you are the farthest thing from a ruler. Does that make you? Not a prince. Were you adopted? How dare he call me a bastard? Ancestor Huang Mei, what are you standing around for? Why don't you take down this arrogant person? You little scamp, do you think everyone is beneath you? Have a taste of my power. Demon Transformation Art. What happened to my 1,000 years dream? I ate it. This Zhua fan is much more powerful than the rumors. My strongest poison actually doesn't work on him. He is a body cultivator and I am a poison user. Wouldn't I be seeking death? Your Highness. Don't forget you still owe me 12 pills. Ancestor Huang Mei. Please take care. Humph, you mess with me and now you want to run. Steward Zhua, spare me. Second prince made me. We both know I'm no fool, so stop stating the obvious. While he is the culprit, you are his lackey. In both cases, no one's leaving this place alive. Wait, Steward Zhua, don't kill me. Let me go and I'll do anything. Isn't your Luo clan newly promoted? You must be short on men. I am an 8th layer radiant stage expert, I can stand on your side and pledge my life to you. TH layer radiant stage expert. Not bad. Unfortunately, you are not worthy. None of the Luo clan's elders will balk in the face of death. Steward Zhua. I know my mistake. I won't do it again, honest. Please let me go, just this once. Next time. If there ever will be a next time, that old fart's death will look like a joy ride compared to yours. Got that? For your old man's face, I'll leave it at that. After some small lessons. What's going on again? Your Majesty, we only know that it came from the second prince's manor. What has the old second done this time? Go find out. Your Majesty, that wasn't just a small commotion. May I go check on the second prince? I fear for the worst. Humph, the young sure are bold. That little monster isn't easy to handle, even for me. Yet that lame-brain kid went and provoked him. Ha ha ha. That's a calf for you, ignorant and foolish. This lesson, I reckon, ought to be a cruel one. he finally acted. And got crushed at last. This kid is too rash. Is cooperation still viable? We have no choice, not when all eyes are on Regent Estate. The fodder is always the first to fall, and that is what we will become if we stick too close to it. Of all the princes, the eldest prince is too shrewd to side with, and the third prince is sloppy, leaving the second prince as the only viable pawn with some use. The choice was made for us. We are at the crossroads. How could we be so foolish to end up like this? You want to become the emperor, right? Now I'll peel the respect off of you, flogging you on the streets of the imperial capital, and subjecting you to all humiliations imaginable. Such a prince can never get the throne since he has no respect to speak of. Unless he's the only successor. No, no, I beg you, please don't do this to me. Otherwise, I can never remain a prince. Now I finally understand Grandpa's words. Steward Jwa is not just evil, but a calamity. One whose very existence is to torment others. Brother, please do me a solid and leave the second brother be. He. Fatty, you sure are a worthy brother. I'm sure you know of my temper by now. Read first at manhwaplus.com. Yet this second brother of yours had the balls to kidnap me. I merely want to tie him up and parade him in the streets. Besides, I'm only trying to help. Who knows what idiotic and retarded idea some other miscreant will come up with next to use against me. D. Brother Jwa is right. The world is crawling with ignorant and reckless people, but he is my second brother. Please let him go. Yeah, you turned the second brother into looking like this and leveled his house. Isn't that enough revenge? He is your second brother while you've only seen Jwa Fan in passing a few times. What are you doing giving an outsider an excuse to trash your family? Sigh, when girls fall in love, they will actually protect outsiders. Ha ha ha. Alright, I guess I can spare the kid, for your sake. But get this straight. You two owe me one, each. And sooner or later, you're going to pony up. We only have one second brother. Let him go and we will owe you a favor of course, but what are you doing asking one from each of us? Read first at manhwaplus.com. It's not my fault that both of you asked me to let him go. That makes it two favors. Release when the time comes and I need you, you better own up. Damn grubber. Let's stop here. When I need something, I'll be sure to drop by. Goodbye. Wait. I and Schwanger are practically sisters and wish to get together after not having seen each other for ages. I mean, Schwanger must be shaking from that terrible fright. As her sister, it is my duty to look after her. Youngning, I am not really. Third brother, you go on without me. Youngning, that's enough. You think I can't tell what you're up to? You're trying to get out of being grounded. Even if you do go with Miss Yun Shuang to the High Priest's mansion, Imperial Father will have someone drag you back. Read first at manhwaplus.com. Oh, Fatty, you're mistaken about something. Miss Yun Shuang is coming to the Luo clan and not returning to the High Priest's mansion. What? Oh, so that's how it is. Miss Yun Shuang, your clan strives for the betterment of the people, which I admire. Read first at manhwaplus.com. But I must stress one important fact. This person, or whatever you want to call him, doesn't have just evil proclivities, but is pure undiluted evil, a demon. A wretched, revolting, vile spawn that even hell spat. Hey. How did I become pure evil? What does it matter? You don't seem to care about your reputation anyway. That's right. All the more reason I should stay with Schwanger, to not let her be led astray. Do what you will. But don't think I'll take the blame when the Imperial Father hears about this. The princess. Just let her be. Who knows, the apple of the Emperor's eye might hold some use yet. Read first at manhwaplus.com, then I'll leave now. Sigh, I will not see you off. As for the second prince. In his moment of despair, I gave him a good nudge. Kill the rest and you'll be the true successor. I'm only curious if Fatty figured it all out since he stopped me from giving further advice to the second prince. Not that it made a difference. The seed of a power play has already bloomed in the second prince's heart. Young miss, this is Princess Yongning, whom you've met, and this is Miss Yun Shuang from the High Priest's mansion. Settle them in. I will be in seclusion for 3 days. Please follow me. Miss Schwanger, can you really read fate? Then. Miss Schwanger, could you perhaps look into my fated marriage? Huh. Well. Yes, I can read. Odd, Miss Luo's wedding should have long passed. Read first at manhwaplus.com. It's not necessarily bad, but it was broken at some point in time. Maybe. Forgive me, but I cannot see your marriage. Your wedding should have been 8 years ago. But Steward Zhua, who is outside fate, changed your fated marriage. This drove your current fate into chaos and I can no longer see it. You mean? He broke my fated wedding. That makes him responsible for me, right? Ostensibly. He is of some fault. Great. Thanks, Miss Yun Shuang. Schwanger, what about mine? Read first at manhwaplus.com. High Priest, you crossed the line. Yun clan has always strived for the people. We've never crossed it. Did you talk about it to anyone, including Zhuofan? That matter is too dangerous and can't be spread. I will never harm the common man. Very good. He. Since he didn't talk. Worthy of the crown prince, he has a lot of treasures. But I'm most satisfied with this one. It's time to refine the body again. However, compared to my last experience of refining the Qilin arm, this is just a piece of cake. This third layer profound heaven stage cultivator with my new 7th level spiritual beast wings. Not only has my speed bolstered, but that blue glow has become a natural defense. It is a neat trick good in offense and defense, independent of my actions. Divine Eye of the Void, 3rd stage. My refining actually upgraded my Divine Eye of the Void. This is because of resonance, taking a different path towards the same goal. Now I can finally put up a fight against an ethereal stage expert. Who'll fight me? Steward Zhua, all evil begins with violence. Please exercise restraint. How did you know I was coming out of seclusion? Did your eyes reveal it to you? Be that as it may, they can't see you. I've been waiting here all this time for you to come out. Here, freshen up after your toil, and let it brighten your day. Oh, thanks. Wait, why are you doing this? I am your attendant. It's in my job description. And I do need to guide you towards good. To do that I will have to keep you happy all day, every day. Lest emotions run amok and you'll turn evil again. I also got you this. 3 character classic people at birth are naturally good. It'll do good for your spirit, try it. I won't read a goddamned word. I've roamed the world for so many years. Do I need a little girl to teach me to be a man? Miss Schwanger, I didn't ask you to be a servant, nor a tutor to right my wrong ways. I only need you to read the heavens and tell me the future. All you have to do is tell me what the other players are doing, and I can take it from there in figuring out their plans. With your eyes and my smarts, we will have control over everything. That's your role. Now, what have the factions been up to these days? I didn't look. To save the people, you must have a righteous heart. Until you're re-educated, I won't even peek. Good. Then you are useless, you can go back. Zhua Fan. What are you doing? Steward Zhua, what did Schwanger do for you to scare her like this? Yeah, Schwanger is so kind, doing everything you ask of her. You must be at fault here to pick on our Schwanger. Apologize this instant, or I'm telling Imperial Father. Princess Yongning, are you going to His Majesty to get me punished? It hasn't been that long and these girls are already a clique. Tell me then, has the second prince's matter settled? Of course. But that is all because of the third brother asking you to take it as the second brother's fault. The Imperial Father wouldn't have wasted words with you and would have had you. Fatty's request was only to save the Emperor's hide. The Imperial family isn't about to blow all pretense for a mere second prince only to suffer in the end. Miss Schwanger, when your grandfather put you in my care, he said many things. But one thing he did stress. That you are useful. If you can't help me, what reason do I have for keeping you? Our clan doesn't need two bickering matrons. Matron. Schwanger. Schwanger, don't go. This works out just as well. With Yun clan neutral, I'm not worried that the Holy Maiden will end up in another faction. Dick Tickik. Xiao Dongzi, what are you doing here? Sister Schwanger. Something happened. Grandfather. He was killed. One of the four pillars, the high priest, demigod Yun Xuanji, was killed. Call Elder Li and the others. We're going as well. Who dares commit such an outrageous crime in the heart of the empire? Grandfather. What do you think about this matter? The Yun clan has stood for 1,000 years in Tianyu. Always neutral and respected. Not to mention it is the third pillar, under one person, above all. Just who could have done this at such a crucial time? He's been reduced to such a state, yet everything around him lies undisturbed and clean. That means he was brought here dead. Moreover, were his eyes scooped up because of their ability to see fate. If it were just for the eyes, Yun clan would have long since been kidnapped in the past 1,000 years. The death of Yun Xuanji is for a different reason. And since he died, the killer took his eyes while he was at it to do a little research. That day, I felt that the old man's tone was a bit strange. The way he gave his granddaughter away felt less like gaining a helper rather than fulfilling the old man's will. Did he see his end coming? You're all experts. After all this talking, have you found who killed Schwanger's grandfather or not? The imperial capital is in troubled waters right now. Who knows who did it? Now I know why Yin Xuanji gave me Schwanger. It was his final wish, having foreseen his own death. It's all my fault. With grandfather always doing the reading, I never tried doing it on him. Read first at manhwaplus.com if only I'd been more aware. Don't blame yourself. Your grandfather did it with this in mind. For his principles, the high priest knew he was at his end and chose to go like this. I truly admire his resolve and righteousness. To honor him, I will not only look after you but your clan as well. Young miss, what do you say? Of course. Forgive me, Steward Zhua. I always took you for a demon, but you aren't even a bad man. Thank you. He he he. You are the first to say that I am not bad. With the imperial capital in unrest and the Yun clan without a leader, it will become the pawn of every player in pursuit of power. I propose that we move the Yun clan to Blackwind Mountain. There, they will be safe. What do you think? It's great, but Yun clan has thousands of people. Moving them all will require His Majesty's approval. Don't worry. Have you forgotten who I am? Elder Lee, take this cape. Leave with the Yun clan as quickly as possible. You will look after them. Once outside the imperial capital, send someone to report what has happened to the imperial palace. Steward Zhua, when did you become a saint? It's not your style, or did you suddenly take a liking to that miss? Stuff it. I'm not that dirty-minded. Ansme, ignore what happens around you and you'll soon be knee-deep in trouble. Every generation of the Yun clan has had a person that can read fate. It is Hans Hem. Sense Doma, you can't even see something that obvious. With them in dire straits, it is the best chance to use them. Steward Zhua, you're stupendous. You're reaping rewards from the hard work of others. Read first at manhwaplus.com. Bullshit. They're here to take the heat, while we reap the fields. If the mastermind knew all his effort was in our favor, he'd probably have blown a gasket, or two, he he he. Steward Zhua, do know who did it? SHHH. Can't say. But this game sure is fun. What? The High Priest is dead. The High Priest, the spine of the Empire, the service of the society, the benefit of 1,000 years. How could? Now that you left, who will help me? Who will show me the way? Your Majesty, please restrain your grief. The death of the High Priest affects the entire nation. Read first at manhwaplus.com. I vow to find the killer and bring him to justice. Your Majesty, Marshal Dugu is right. We need to find the culprit. For the third pillar, High Priest, to die in our own backyard, is a grave insult to our empire. It must be one of those factions. Your Majesty should summon and reprimand them. That's right. I have put up with those deceitful scoundrels for too long. This time they actually dared to touch one of the pillars. Simply outrageous. Dugu Zhantian, seal the city. No one gets in or out. Call for the 8 noble houses, Zhuge Changfeng, and Yun clan's survivors. I will question them personally. Yes. This sound is quite beautiful. Humph, you just want the world to burn. True, that's just who I am. How else do you expect me to use my bag full of tricks? And now it's only rowdy, not a complete stalemate. Caged Dragon City. Estate Lord, by His Majesty's decree. Please come to the Imperial Palace. What is it this time? Why all the commotion? High Priest Yin Xuanji was killed. His Majesty is tracking down the culprit. What? The High Priest is dead. Who in this land dares to strike down the High Priest? To lay a hand on Tianyu's High Priest is to think of oneself above the law, a taunt to the Empire. Every one of you here is a person of renown in your respective field, all vying for power. What do all of you make of the High Priest's death? Your Majesty, in my opinion, although the High Priest only had a few guards, he himself was a peak profound heaven expert. The suspect could only be someone extraordinary since it required power to kill him. And to move in and out without a sound. That would make the suspect someone with great sway within the Empire. Marshal Dugu's vague explanation clearly projects the blame on the 8 houses. But have you forgotten? Besides the 8 houses, Tianyu has another strong power, the 4 pillars. especially the first two. What did you say? Lang Wucheng, are you doubting me? Humph, I've always been above board, upright, and honest. The high priest had always been kind to me. How could I repay him with such a vile act? Old Marshal, take it easy. I wasn't talking about you. It was a mere reminder to expand the list of suspects, to include everyone, lest the suspect slips away. Humph, in any case, I had nothing to do with the high priest's demise. I vow on my army's name. Only the culprit knows who he is, but I will be damn sure to wring him out. The old guy is good at fighting, but he's dumb as a post when it comes to politics. As if the culprit would leave a clue for him to find. Though this affair has gathered many big players and has a high potential of breaking the stalemate, it's as if an unseen hand moved everyone here from the shadows. The feeling is most unsettling. Only an extraordinary person could have done this, that much is true. However, that does not give enough credence to make everyone here a suspect. Holy Maiden, may I ask, who was the last person to see the high priest alive? Aid nod. Your Majesty, it was the Luo clan's steward. Zhua Fan. According to Dugu Zhantian's analysis, Zhua Fan is fully capable of killing the high priest. This brash kid has run amok even in the imperial capital. Wherever he goes, he leaves chaos in his wake. He fears nothing and kills anyone who even looks at him funny. Did he kill the high priest after a dispute? Zhua Fan, was it you? What was me? If your Majesty is referring to the last person to visit the high priest, then yes, that would be me, mostly. But if we were to jump to conclusions and state that the high priest's killer and his last visitor were the same, that would be ill-advised. And how are you going to prove your innocence? Easy, I have a rock-solid alibi. I and the high priest got along so well together that he saw me out and even gave me Miss Schwanger. Ever since I left the mansion, I was always with Miss Schwanger. She is my first witness. Next would be the second prince. All right. I get it. You're absolved. With Zhua Fan's cunning nature, he will definitely drag my son down with him, dragging the entire imperial family into these muddy waters. We will not only lose initiative, but it will be a miracle if we can wash this shame. Sigh. Steward Zhua, wise and brave, honest and upright, it is highly unlikely for you to have done this savage act. However, Zhua Fan, was there anyone else in the parish before you left? Huh. Estate Lord Huangpu Tianyuan and Sir Lang were guests there. And let me tell you, they weren't very friendly either. This kid finally got on point for once. But after only raising their voices a bit, they left. At the door, they bumped into me, where they raised their voices at me for a time. Irrelevant. No, Your Majesty. It is very crucial. Regent Estate is cleared of charges as well. Your Majesty, consider this. The two were furious yet didn't strike the high priest even when oblivious to the fact that there was someone outside. To not attack at that time, thinking they're alone. It goes on to show that they never wanted him dead. They are ruled out. That's a fairly good point. Until this is investigated thoroughly, everyone must stay in the city. You may leave. Steward Zhua. You go back first. We may be enemies, but thank you for that. We are enemies, yes, but we also need to coexist. Besides, I didn't do it for you. I know that, but one needs to give thanks when it's due, Steward Zhua. Ha ha ha. Since when have you two been so close? Oh, Prime Minister Zhuge, thank you as well. It's nothing. Steward Zhua guided me. I picked up on Steward Zhua's intention of helping the Regent Estate when he recounted what happened at the mansion and thought of lending Luo clan a hand. His Majesty's plan would have worked otherwise. Indeed, The Emperor is using the